Have you ever heard of a fish that keeps moving even after being buried into the ground for 3 years, or a snake that can still bite long after its head is detached? How about a scorpion that continues to twitch after death, or a cockroach that can survive without its head for weeks? And let's not forget the earthworm, which can regenerate parts of its body even after being chopped in two. These are not just bizarre stories. They're real examples of nature's incredible resilience. Welcome back to another mind-blowing episode of Wild Spot. Today, we're diving into the strange world of animals that seem to defy death. From the Pieco fish's astonishing reflexes to the eerie survival tactics of snakes, scorpions, cockroaches, and earthworms, get ready to be amazed by the creatures that continue to live on, even after their last breath. So, buckle up as we unravel the mysteries of these seemingly immortal animals. Pico fish. Meet the Pico fish, a tiny but tough survivor of the desert. When the rain stops and the land dries up, the Pico fish does something amazing. It digs into the mud and releases a special substance from its body. This substance hardens around the fish, forming a protective cocoon that locks in moisture and keeps the fish alive in a dormant state. Inside this cocoon, the Pico fish slows down all its bodily functions to almost a standstill, conserving energy until water is available again. This cover lets it survive without water for up to 4 years. Yes, 4 years. What's truly amazing is that during this time, the Pico fish can endure temperatures and humidity levels that would kill other fish. When water finally reaches the fish and seeps into the cocoon, it dissolves, allowing the Pico fish to rehydrate and resume its normal life, as if waking from a long sleep. Snakes. Believe it or not, the danger of a snake remains even after it dies, reminding us that appearances can be deceiving. You might already think snakes are scary because of their bite, but here's something surprising. Even after a snake is dead, it can still bite you. Yes, that's right. So, if you ever see a snake that looks dead, don't touch it. Why does this happen? Even after a snake's head is cut off, it can still move and try to bite for a little while. This is because its body can still react to things around it, like if something touches it. It's a defense mechanism that helps the snake during its life, allowing it to react quickly to threats. But this same mechanism can make a dead snake dangerous. Additionally, the venom in a snake's glands can stay potent for a long time after death, meaning a bite from a dead snake can still be dangerous. There's a video here that shows someone almost getting bitten by a snake's head that's not alive anymore. It's a good reminder to be careful around snakes, whether they look dead or alive. Seeing how snakes can still be dangerous even after you think they're gone is one of those things about nature that really makes you say, wow! Arctic woolly bear moth. The Arctic woolly bear moth, or Gynophora groenlandica, has caterpillars with an incredible survival strategy. These caterpillars live in the harsh Arctic, where the growing season is very short. To survive, the larvae freeze solid during the long, cold winters and thaw out in the brief Arctic summer. This freeze-thaw cycle can repeat for up to 14 years until they've stored enough energy to become moths. They can freeze without damage thanks to special proteins in their bodies that prevent harmful ice crystals from forming, something that would kill most other creatures. Ocean Quahog. In the cold, dark depths of the ocean live the ocean quahog, a clam with an incredibly long lifespan. These clams are like the Methuselah of the sea, with one named Ming, estimated to be over 500 years old. The ocean quahog's long life isn't just interesting. It gives us clues about the ocean's history and secrets to longevity. What makes the ocean quahog's long life even more amazing is its simple existence. Buried in the ocean floor, it filters water for food, quietly living through centuries. Its shell, which grows a little each year, acts like a history book, recording the passage of time. The story of 500-year-old Ming is a perfect example of this remarkable creature. Chickens. Have you ever heard the saying, running around like a headless chicken? Well, it turned out there's some truth to it. Chickens can actually keep moving after their heads are gone, thanks to the nerve reflexes in their body. The most famous case is Mike, the headless chicken, who lived for 18 months without his head. Mike managed to stick around for so long because of a part of his brainstem which controls basic functions like breathing and heartbeat. It was still intact. It's a bizarre but true story that shows just how resilient life can be, even in the most unexpected circumstances. The reason lies in the structure of their nervous system. Chickens, like many other birds, have a central nervous system that can operate reflex actions without the direct involvement of the brain when a chicken's head is removed. The spinal cord, which remains intact, can still conduct reflexes. These reflex actions are automatic responses that do not require brain input to be executed in the case of Mike the headless chicken. The reason he survived for 18 months without his head is because the cleaver missed the jugular vein, leaving one ear and most of the brainstem intact. Scorpion. Imagine a creature so tough it can go without food for a whole year and even survive being frozen solid. That's the scorpion, one of the desert's most incredible survivors. Scorpions have been around for millions of years and have learned some amazing survival tricks. One of their coolest skills is slowing down their metabolism, allowing them to live on just a tiny bit of food for months. When there's nothing to eat, they just pause and wait until they can find their next meal. But that's not all. Scorpions can also survive super cold temperatures. If they get caught in a cold spot, they can freeze and stay in a kind of sleep until it warms up. Once the ice melts, they wake up and crawl away as if nothing happened. It's like they have their own natural superpowers to beat hunger and cold. Frog. Let's talk about frogs, but not just any frogs. Some frogs are so unusual that they can keep living even without their brains or heads. It sounds like something from a science fiction movie, but it's true. Normally, animals need their brains for everything: moving, eating, and even breathing. But these frogs are different. In some experiments and videos, scientists have shown that headless frogs can still react to being touched and can even move a bit. How is this possible? Well, frogs have a simple way of controlling their bodies that doesn't always need the brain. Their bodies can respond to changes in their environment all by themselves. These amazing frogs are truly fascinating. Cockroaches. Cockroaches are incredibly tough and often called the ultimate survivors. One amazing fact about them is that they can live for weeks without their heads. This is because they breathe through openings in their body segments called spiracles, not through their mouths or noses like humans. So, even without a head, a cockroach can still breathe. Additionally, cockroaches have a decentralized nervous system, meaning many reflex actions and movements are controlled by nerves spread throughout their bodies, not just in the brain. Without needing a central control center, a headless cockroach can still react to its environment, move, and even mate. They eventually die because they can't drink water and get dehydrated. Fleas and bees. Flies and bees can also move their wings or legs after losing their heads. This is due to reflex actions controlled by their nervous system. Insects have nerve centers throughout their bodies that handle many reflexes, including wing and leg movements. When a fly or bee is decapitated, these nerve centers can still respond to stimuli, causing movement. For example, a headless fly might move its wings as if trying to fly, and bees can still move their legs. Dead bees can still sting. When a bee stings, it leaves its stinger in the victim's skin. The stinger has a muscle and a venom sac that can keep working even after the bee dies. Earthworms. Earthworms are amazing creatures that live in the soil under our feet. What's really special about them is their ability to regrow lost parts of their bodies. If an earthworm is cut in half, the tail end can often grow back, depending on the species and where it was cut. This ability comes from special stem cells in their bodies that can change into different types of cells needed to rebuild the missing parts. Besides their ability to regrow, earthworms also have a simple nervous system that helps them move even after being cut. Their nervous system runs along their whole body, so each segment can respond to the environment on its own. This means if an earthworm is split in two, each part can keep moving by itself. These animals showcase incredible abilities to survive and regenerate even after death. Tell us know in comment section, which one do you find the most fascinating? Also subscribe Wild Spot to watch more amazing content. See you later.